What's up, everybody, and welcome to the January 25th edition of the Raw Review. Yes, I'll be doing this one tonight alone, and not just alone. I want to do things a little bit differently for tonight only. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the January... That's what happens when I'm alone. I start to talk to myself. So I'm going to be doing this one alone, but it's going to be a little bit different because I want to do this with you guys. Twitter was very, very vocal about a particular match tonight, that being AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. And I kind of want to debate against all of you about it. I'll give my side of it. I'll read you guys' comments as I go along with it. And we'll kind of do this segment by segment. I figure this would be a pretty good way to get you guys involved as well. I'll be covering most of the Raw review. And I'll give you guys the heads up on how I felt about Raw tonight. Tonight's Raw I enjoyed tonight's Raw. I can't say that it missed with me. I mean, it was what we expected as far as match quality and storylines. But outside of that, I think that normally where they tend to tail off and lose our attention, I think that they kept my attention. This wasn't a Raw that I turned off or turned the channel or walked away from oftentimes. So how do we start this Raw? 20-minute promo session with the Authority. Gotta love those 20-minute Authority promos. And it started off with Vince and Stephanie celebrating that Roman Reigns is no longer champion. They took him out and XYZ. You know how that whole thing goes. I have no problem with them celebrating. I have no problem with the promo being 20 minutes because we all knew coming into it was going to be the 20-minute promo. And that 20-minute promo was more so just their way of sticking it to you and saying, kiss my ass. As a matter of fact, Vince came out and told you to kiss his ass. Vince came out and said, well, shut up. He told everybody from the door to shut up, letting you know it's going to be some major ass kissing in this one. And he didn't give a goddamn. So after they got over their whole hoopla about who won, it was time to enter Triple H. I fucking love Triple H. I don't know what it is about this guy. He's gone from terrorizing to Hunter Hearst Helmsley to Triple H to the guy in the jean vest jacket. And now we have this guy, the retired CEO, I come back whenever the fuck I feel like it, Triple H guy. And he's the guy that completely understands the internet, which is why NXT is successful, why guys that he wants to get over the way he wants them to get over, and also how he can come into the main roster and still manage to work the crowd the exact way that he wants to and get the reactions that he wants to get from that crowd. I love this Triple H. Comes out, he celebrates, he gets up on the turnbuckle, shows the crowd that he's the champion, he's going crazy. Then he starts to spit out the water. And I'm like, why is that even necessary? It's not as if he's getting in a match and he needs to wet his hair or anything like that. No, he's just spitting out water. For what reason? God, who fucking knows? And then they pretty much announced that they were going to be looking at guys throughout the show. Keep this in mind as we go toward the end. They were going to be looking at guys throughout the show to see who they want to put into a match at Fastlane, into a number one contenders match to go against Triple H at WrestleMania. Okay, so what you're thinking is, all right, everybody's up. Everybody has a chance at this, right? Whoever wins probably has the best chance. No matter what the match is, just impress them, right? So if you got a match, you have a chance to, main event Fastlane and possibly get a shot at Triple H at WrestleMania. You get a chance to headline WrestleMania with Triple H. Or so that's what they want you to think. Let's move along. First match, we get Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler. Now, here's where we get into the comment interaction. So I'll be reading you guys' comments throughout this one. But with Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler, to me, this is your typical, I don't want to say squash match, but your typical, don't really got anything else for you guys to do tonight. So how about you guys go out there and have a match? Now, I don't know what they have going on with Dolph, if anything at all. I don't think they have anything going on with Dolph. So, going into this one, that he's going to, he's going to lose. Kevin Owens, on the other hand, they're still keeping him semi-strong for something. What is it? I don't know. But they're trying to keep this guy. AJ Styles. Yeah, that's going to be his match. So they still want to keep him strong for a guy like that. As for the match, you've seen it a million times. Not really anything to go back and watch. So let me see what you guys think. So let's see. Dolph Ziggler is done. Owens picks up the quick W from White Cannery. Absolutely. Tired of Dolph on my screen. Xavier Freeman. I agree. I've been tired of him being on my screen for quite some time now. Nothing special says fuck Dolph. All right, so the jig is up, or the vote is in. It's fuck Dolph at this point. I don't think anybody cares about him anymore. Backstage, Roman Reigns arrives and he tells Vince to tell Triple H that he's there. I don't know why, because I don't think we've seen Triple H again after that. In the ring, oh boy, here's a segment. Social Outcasts are in the ring, and Heath Slater calls out Flo Rida. Apparently, they have like a 4-year feud going on that started at a WrestleMania where Flo Rida punched him in the face. I think it was like WrestleMania 28 or something like that. It really wasn't a big deal. I don't know why this is still going on. But he invites him to come into the ring, and Flo Rida and Bo Dallas had a rap off. Oh my God. Bo Dallas got bars. Yo, he killed this guy, Flo Rida. He absolutely annihilated Flo Rida. Now, to be fair, going into this, Flo Rida really wasn't known as a good rapper or anything like that. So let me let my kid cough. All right. So you're not expecting like, oh man, he about to kill him. You're not expecting that, but at the same time, you wasn't expecting Bo Dallas to have bars. Bo Dallas had bars for him. Oh my God. And then after that, Flo Rida does his rap. Wasn't really anything to get behind. And he ends it off by saying, welcome to Dudleyville. Could have sworn they were in Miami. And now comes the Dudleys, because they're going to be having a match with the Social Outcasts. So let me see what you guys have for Bo Dallas. Bo Rida dropping a single. His single's going to be called the hot single from Bo Rida. That's from White Cannery. Again, Bo Rida better than Bo Rida's his name. Bo Rida better than Future. I was running through the 6 with my posts. As from Hijinks, Amir Shill, Bo Pac, nothing special. Just waiting for the Bo Rida to drop that mixtape. This thing is going up pretty fast. We want Bo Rida and Angelo Dawkins as the next tag team. Damn it, I missed your name. It's going up. That's Jordan Sampson. Bo Rida needs to make a song with Angelo Dawkins. Okay, so we're gonna keep doing the Angelo Dawkins thing. So we get the match with the Dudleys and the Social Outcasts. For some reason, I was actually expecting the Social Outcasts to win this one. I figured that the Dudleys were just that buried. Not buried. Let me not say buried, but just pretty much just not needed. Yeah, I think that's better. I don't want to say that they're buried. They're not buried, but they're just there. They've become a guy. They've become guys. That's what they've become. Nothing really noteworthy to say about the match, outside of the fact that Flo Rida never left ringside. He stayed up on the apron the entire time. which was the reason why the Social Outcasts lost. There was a distraction there with Flo Rida and Heath Slater, which caused Heath Slater to turn around into what was it? Some shit by Bubba Dudley, and that 3D came from that, and that ended that match. Again, once it comes to these matches that there's no reason to get invested into them, I really don't get invested into them. Now, I'm going to jump right back to the comments. And Dr. Bo MX. Bo MX. That's from Aaron King and the Great Patriot, Snoop Bo Holman. All right, so good. You guys have nothing to say about the match, right? Nothing to say about the match? No? Perfect. Great. Let me continue because that match, I like to talk about things that matter. So up next, we have AJ Styles being interviewed backstage. Chris Jericho interrupts, says, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid." Slap Styles on the chest before walking away, and they're up next. They're going to have their match. So here's where me and you guys here in the chat, we're going to have our little face-off. So let me take a sip. Cranberry juice, man. Got to drink it every now and then. Flesh out the system. All right. We're going to have our little debate because here's what I said on Twitter, and here's what I believe. Tonight's match with AJ Styles and Chris Jericho was not very – it wasn't a good match, first of all. It wasn't a good match. It wasn't beneficial to AJ Styles. It doesn't help AJ Styles. And in a way, it kind of lets me know where they're going with AJ Styles in the future. I don't see a bright future. I don't see them investing in AJ Styles. And maybe I should add this, or maybe I should have added this part right here as a main eventer or as someone that's actually going to matter. Now, the reason why that's important to me is because AJ Styles is what I personally, and a lot of other people will probably agree with me, he's one of those 5-star wrestlers. And by 5-star wrestlers, I mean a guy that could put on a 5-star match or close to it. He's had tons of them. Tons, literal tons of them. And the issue that I have with tonight's match, make sure you hear me clearly here. The issue I have with tonight's match, and the reason why I say that I don't see a bright future for AJ Styles is simple. WWE main roster wants to appeal to the casual fan. They know that the hardcores are going to be there. They know the hardcores are going to be vocal, and that's why we're considered the vocal minority. WWE knows that we're there and we're not really going anywhere. So they want to appeal to the casual wrestling fan, the one that tunes in every now and then, or the wrestling fan that only watches NXT and WWE, or even just the ones that watch just the WWE main roster and don't really know anything about guys from the indies and guys out in Japan and TNA guys. They want you, they want those people. So the people that don't watch stuff outside of WWE's product, a lot of them don't know AJ Styles, or they've heard the name, but they haven't seen his matches, or they haven't seen what he's capable of, or they haven't seen those 5-star matches that I'm talking about. They haven't seen them. So when you bring him into a match, his very, very first actual match on Raw, not on pay-per-view, I'm not counting pay-per-view because the casuals tend to tune into what's going on TV. Just might be flipping the channels. Oh shit, Raw's on. Let me watch it. That's a casual. Hardcores and, people that get sucked in, they're the ones that's going to buy the pay-per-views. WWE already got them. The casuals that don't know about AJ Styles, they're flipping through, they'll catch Raw. All right, here's this AJ Styles guy. They've been talking about him. They've been hyping up. Here's the key. They've been hyping up social media about AJ Styles like madmen. They've been hyping this thing up crazy. You got John Cena posting a picture about him throwing one back. You got WWE putting up articles about AJ Styles, making him seem like a huge deal. which he is. AJ Styles is a huge deal when booked properly. In Japan, AJ Styles is a star. In ROH, AJ Styles is fucking Messiah. In TNA, AJ Styles is a legend. WWE knows this, and they talk them up as such. Even to go as far as last night to say AJ Styles, the NW, what was it? Well, basically the New Japan Pro Wrestling former world champion. And they said, JBL said this, the same title that Brock Lesnar held. You don't say that for, just for some nobody. You don't do that. That's when you really want to put a guy over as a big deal. So essentially by saying that, just by associating his name with Brock Lesnar's name, they could have, well, they wasn't going to say Kurt Angle, but Kurt Angle held the title as well. But they're saying it so that these are guys that you know. In a sense, for just a second, they wanted you to think on a level of Brock Lesnar because he held that same coveted title. That's a huge title. That's a huge international title. So now that WWE has laid out there for you that this guy is a huge deal, they put him in a match with Jericho. And I'm never on board for a Jericho match. I never care about a Jericho match. Jericho versus AJ Styles, I'm hooked. I'm in. Let me see what's going to happen here. Because if you have this match 8 years ago at WrestleMania, it's a great match. Great match. On Twitter, at first I put 5 years, but then I realized 5 years ago Jericho wasn't really shit. 8 years ago, I'm all in. I'm all in because Jericho is still a big deal 8 years ago. AJ Styles is just approaching his prime 8 years ago. And AJ Styles was doing all of his crazy moves 8 years ago. So I approached this match thinking, okay, I know I'm not getting two guys in their prime, but what I know I can get, AJ Styles is, he's still, like I said, he's still a 5-star wrestler. Jericho, I would figure he still knows how to put on a great match, which I'm sure he does. If you go and look at Beast in the East and you look at the Japan match with him and Neville, great match with him and Neville. Excellent match. And that's because it was a house show. See, when you're on the main roster and you're doing a main roster show, aka Raw, I'm not even going to count SmackDown because they got a little more freedom on SmackDown. But when you're on Raw, you're dancing the fine line. And for some odd reason, it's as if they don't want you to have a good match on Raw. So what was the story in this match? One thing we have is, welcome to the big leagues. That's one. Then we're going to call him Kid. He's 38. He's seasoned. He's held championships everywhere. WWE has already told you that this guy is a big deal. Okay. Here's one thing that WWE likes to do. Those guys that are big deals, we'll give you your moment in the sun. But then we're going to WWE you. We're going to humble you. That's what WWE does. They will humble the fuck out of they'll humble the fuck out of somebody that's completely humble. They don't care. They don't give a damn. You're going to get this humbling. AJ Styles, all right, we put you up here. We're about to give you this humbling. Now, notice I didn't say Jericho jobber, Jericho just there to put him over or anything like that. No. That's not what I was expecting out of this match. What I was expecting out of this match was two guys to go at it. I figured they put him in there with Jericho because Jericho has that name. He has that history. He has that value still with WWE and the fans. Jericho is a legend. I never really cared for Jericho, but I know Jericho is a legend. Jericho is always going to be loved by the fans. And Jericho is always going to have respect. So I expected them to both go out there and put on a show. WrestleMania match? No. But at the very least, I expect AJ to have offense. And that's where myself and a lot of people differ here. Because a lot of people seem to have thought that AJ had some offense in this. Get a Pele kick. So this guy sold for 99.38% of the match. Sold. Did nothing to show off what he can do. That's the problem that I have here. That brings me back to the casual fan. The casual fan don't know this guy, but they've been hearing about him like crazy. So you tune in because you want to see what the hype is about. And this is what they showed you. This is your first impression. Now, there's that saying about the first impression always being the lasting impression. This is not a good first impression. You didn't do anything but sell. That's not what you want to get out of someone that they mentioned in the same breath as Brock Lesnar. That doesn't make sense. You don't do that. Again, the people that know AJ Styles knows what he can do. We know that. The casual fan has no idea of that. And that is where you have the people that say, oh, you're a wrestling fan, and they clown you for being a wrestling fan. It's because of shit like this. Because we, as the hardcore fan, we know what we watch. We know what we see. We know what we know. And we know AJ Styles is a great, great wrestler. And we would have to defend him to a casual fan. We would have to defend him to a passerby. We shouldn't have to. Because we know what he can do. Hey, WWE, how about you just fucking let him do it? I'm not asking for a 5-star match. No, not at all. But I would love to see what the fuck the hype was about. Can I see that part? Can I see that part? Can I see what this guy can do in the ring? You're teasing that his Styles Clash, and I know you probably want to hold that off for a big pay-per-view, probably WrestleMania they'll hold it off for. Same way that they were holding off Hideo Itami's GTS. They wanted to hold that off probably for the Beast in the East against Kevin Owens. I get it, and I'm okay with that. But AJ Styles, they even went as far as calling him a very innovative wrestler. I'm sorry. Did we see any of that since he's been here? Again, I have no problem with AJ Styles. My problem is how people just all of a sudden have this faith in WWE. Okay. All right. Let's do faith. Let's do a little bit of faith. I got some names here, and I'm going to talk about debuts. Here's faith for you. Let's think of the Shield's debut. You got the Shield, you got Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose were pretty well known. I would say that they were widely known for their indie scene stuff, ROH, CZW. They were pretty well known. Roman Reigns, FCW bred. And that's a group that they wanted to get behind, and that's a group that they wanted to get over. But at the same time, they knew who they wanted to be the star. They knew who they wanted to be the face coming out of that. And they surrounded Roman Reigns with greatness. That's what the Shield was for. So, did that prosper going forward? Absolutely. But you know the thing about it is, WWE got behind it and they wanted to. And they showed you that they were getting behind it from the start. You know what you saw when they debuted? They came out and kicked ass. They didn't come out and fucking sell all day. They came out and kicked ass. Let's go to the next one. Neville. Also widely known on the indie scene as a huge deal. Neville, sorry about that. Neville, also known as a huge deal. His debut match on Raw, he came in and lit the crowd on fire. And he was coming from NXT. You know, after coming from the indie scene, he was on NXT. He was the champion there. He was billed as a big deal in NXT. They bought him up. They showed him all his flippy stuff. But here's the thing. His debut, he wrestled, he showed you what he can do. People got behind him because WWE, I guess they wanted you to. At least for a second they did. People got behind the guy because they saw what he can do. Casuals saw what he can do. Let's move on to the next one. Rusev. I mean, we all know what we can say about Rusev's debut. He came in, not including the Royal Rumble, which he came in the Royal Rumble, kicked ass, and it took 4 people to eliminate him. But I digress on that. Let's talk about his actual debut. He came in and kicked everybody's ass for a year. Casuals eventually knew who Rusev was because the guy was a threat. I'm not done. Let's keep going. Kalisto. You could pretty much say the same thing with Neville on this one. They brought him in, had him do his offense. People gravitated to him. And from the door, they knew who Kalisto was. But let me ask you this question. Tell me who the fuck Tyler Breeze is. And if you don't know who Tyler Breeze is, and in a sense, here's what I mean. Who is Tyler Breeze to the main roster? You know who Tyler Breeze is. But who is Tyler Breeze to the main roster? Who is Tyler Breeze to the casual fan that never saw NXT? Take a sip. He's a fucking nobody. Oh, but wait. I'm sorry. You got the hardcore fans that knew who Tyler Breeze was in NXT and loved him because we saw what he can do. I'm sorry. It's the main roster. If they don't fucking want you to succeed, they're just not going to let you. You're not going to do shit. AKA Tyler Breeze. I'm not done. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, both debut matches against John Cena. Sami Zayn worked his ass off. People loved it. People popped for it. People sitting there saying, oh man, if the guy didn't get hurt and he could keep going, could have been one of the matches of the year. We know who he is now. Kevin Owens. I don't think we need to say much about that. Guy came in, kicked ass. And people wanted the world title on him. Instantly, people knew who he was. Casuals knew who he was. He came in and made an impact. Not finished yet, by the way. Outside of the Shield, a lot of these people have something in common. Once WWE doesn't want to get behind you, it's who are you now? In WWE eyes, Rusev's a joke. WWE eyes, Neville's a joke. WWE eyes, Kalisto, I see them actually getting behind Kalisto. I see some people don't, but I see them invested in Kalisto. I said Rusev. Owens, I don't know. Maybe they're still trying to figure out what to do with the guy. I still have more names here, by the way. Now, here's where it's going to hit you a little bit. Let's think about Xavier Woods. TNA star here, right? Came in through FCW, did a little NXT, brought him to the main roster. And when they brought him to the main roster, they did absolutely nothing. You didn't know who Xavier Woods was until this motherfucker got with the New Day. And just so happened to luckily got over. That's why you know who Xavier Woods is. Not because of what he did in the ring. By the way, a lot of y'all, even if you are hardcore fans, you probably still don't know what Xavier Woods could do in the ring. That's the shame. That is the shame of it because the guy is actually great. You wouldn't even know that the way they showcase him. Therefore, he's not a big deal at all. He's just a guy that holds a trombone. I'm not done yet. Here's some names for you. Got 2 more for you. Now, these are the names. I saved these 2 for last because they're going to hit very close to AJ Styles. Daniel Bryan and Sting. 2 guys that came into the WWE world renowned. Daniel Bryan, for a while, was known as the best in the world. Before CM Punk coined the phrase, Daniel Bryan was known as the best wrestler in the world, bar none. What did they do with him when he came to WWE? They put him with The Miz. They made him a Miz jabroni. Okay, all right, cool. So that season of NXT was over. Then they did Nexus. Daniel Bryan started showing a little Daniel Bryan, got fired. I'm sorry. No, you can't be yourself, sir. You can't be that. Daniel Bryan used to be a vicious heel on the indie scene in Japan. He was a vicious heel when he was a heel. He knows how to be a heel. Guess he was a little bit too PG-14 rated for WWE. I don't know. So he fired a guy. Brought him back as a nerdy, nobody guy that doesn't know that women like him. They tried to make a joke out of Daniel Bryan. And it wasn't until the fans had enough of WWE's crap. And that is what got the guy over years later. I'm sorry. I'm still waiting to find faith in WWE. Let's look at Sting. A legend before he even got to WWE. Sting. This is fucking Sting. I don't care if you're a casual fan. You know what the fuck Sting is before he got there. Sting. So, Sting's first match. How'd that work out for you? I actually thought it was pretty fine until he decided to make it an NWO versus WWE thing. That didn't work out too well for him. Oh, we're going to give you a title shot. How about it? Yeah, this ain't going to work out too well for you either. I think he won on like a count out or something against Big Show, and that was his win. If they don't give a fuck, WWE don't give a fuck. So why the hell do y'all have faith that after this outing where AJ Styles literally does nothing but sell, I don't see why anyone should have faith in WWE. I'm sorry, but they're going to be guilty until proven innocent on me. I'm sorry. I mean, if you want, I could dig up those past guys who are buried in the cemetery somewhere, and I could tell you about them too. Oh, they had a great debut. They had an excellent debut. You actually got behind them. You wanted Sheep Mask, didn't you? You really did. And what the fuck happened to them? So where's this faith from? Where'd you get this faith from in WWE? I really want to know where you got this faith from, because they pretty much came out and they showed you AJ Styles came out, a guy that they built up in a matter of less than a month, built this guy up through social media to come out and do nothing in the match. But you're going to sit there and say, hey, were you expecting a WrestleMania match or a WrestleMania type match? No, I wasn't. Oh, hey, give it some time. I'm sorry, give what fucking time? Should I give time to those other names I named? I've been giving them a good year. How much more time do they need? So I'm going to look at the chat now, and somebody better explain to me. I need somebody to defend WWE on this one. I'll be waiting, and I'll be sipping my cranberry juice as I wait. Always ready for a debate. I brought my points. I'll be looking at you guys. I have faith he'll be squashed. See, here's the thing. I don't think that AJ Styles is going to be a nobody. WWE's not that stupid. There can't possibly be that stupid. But as far as him being in a main event picture, as far as him being a big deal that they build him up to be, as far as him being anything like that, I don't see that happening. Just because of what happened tonight. It's not a good start. And I see the comments for Blackjack. I'll answer that in a second as soon as we're finished talking about this AJ Styles thing. I want to make sure that we are on topic, and then I'll answer the Blackjack thing. So, you can't defend WWE. Nope. Mr. Pro Gaming, if you want to dislike my shit, you can also leave. Because one thing that we're not going to be doing here is starting some type of Blackjack versus Wise war. No, that's not what this is or anything like that. You can show your support for Blackjack by doing what everybody else is doing. Hey, where's Blackjack? Hey, we want Black. I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. But you're not going to come here, hey, everybody dislike it. You could eat a dick, as a matter of fact. And no, you didn't say Blackjack. I wasn't looking at the chat because I wanted to make sure I said everything before I did. All right, yeah, good now. Mentioned it. Great. Now, I agree. Twitter was on fire when I said everything I said about the AJ Styles and Jericho match. I want somebody to defend WWE on this one. I'm waiting for it. I'm looking at the comments. I see where you're coming from, but the actual match was good. How was it good when AJ didn't do anything? He literally didn't do anything. If you watch an AJ Styles match and you watch this match, there's no way, no possible way that you say that this was a good outing by both of them. Sure, AJ did a damn good job selling, but in the context of what WWE has billed him as, this is not good. This isn't even close to good, because what it does is it says this guy is world renowned. He's a huge deal, and he's now in the big leagues, and now he does nothing but sell. I'm sorry, that's not good. That's stupid. It's not good. That's pretty much saying this is the big leagues. All that stuff you did over there, yeah, that didn't matter. By the way, this Jericho guy that you're struggling with here, he's a jobber here. So tell me how this is good. I'm still waiting. So the hottest free agent, let's see, Tank Top Tiger. I love Tank Top Tiger. So the hottest free agent in the game, let's give him a 2016 Cool Dad Chris Jericho and have him barely get any offense. Vince. Pretty much, man. That's pretty much how it went. Let's see. He still hasn't hit the Styles Clash. What the fuck? How in the hell one of the best moves hasn't been shown? They're saving that for a pay-per-view, I'm sure. They'll show it because they've even mentioned it, you know. So if they at least mention it, then they're definitely going to, you know, save it for it. It's going to be a big deal. Let's see. Whole man, Vince ego is going to get in the way and he's going to get fucked up. AJ Styles, let me see. He's going to fuck up AJ Styles because fuck WCW, TNA, and New Japan. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much always been like that for Vince. Yeah. Wise, I understand, but let's all remember here, WWE don't give a fuck about the future. See, now here did I explain it in all, you know, in full, and I'm not, you know, stuck or confined to 140 characters. I think you guys understand what I meant a little better here, because no one's debating this. No one's debating this. But like I said, you could place anyone on a roster in AJ's spot tonight and could have had the same match. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the issue, because they build him as a big deal. You can't do that and have him be in a match where you could have pretty much just substituted anybody and had him do the same exact thing. You can't do that, because now going into the next Raw, if I'm a casual fan, I don't see this guy as a big deal anymore. He had a chance to show me what he could do as a casual fan again. He had a chance to show me what he could do, and he didn't do anything there. We got nothing. Nothing. Who do you think he should face he should have faced tonight? I actually think he should have faced Jericho. I just think that they should have given him a chance for him to show what he could do, to show why he's a big deal, and they didn't do that. Why? Oh, shit. Tank Top Tiger. Why is I'm scared what happens when Nakamura debuts. Who are they going to give him? Bo Rider? See, in this few weeks ago, when I said, hey, hashtag pray for Nakamura, this is the reason. Because if they do this to Nakamura, I'm sorry, I'm taking that week off. I'm not going to do that rant. Yeah, no. Yeah, that might be a 2-hour rant. I'm not going to do that. No. Because I like Nakamura way more than I like AJ Styles. And there's no way in hell I would even finish watching that Raw if they did this to Nakamura. Won't happen. And I know that they will. I know that they'll do this to Nakamura. That's the problem. This is what I was afraid for Nakamura. And they're doing it with AJ. There it is. Ninja, your comments aren't showing up probably because you have some words in there that I blocked. Like there's like excessive cursing in there that's probably blocked out. So the comment's not going to show up. All right. So AJ Styles champion in a year or so. Real quick, I want to read this to you guys. I saw some of the details of his contract Oh, also, I'm not finished with the AJ Styles rant. Sorry, there is still more. I need to open up something else right here. I can open up this tab. Styles thing, because I'm gonna tell. I just ranted about how WWE can fuck a guy up, and next I'm gonna tell you how they could get it right, a la NXT, and I'll give you guys some examples. And it won't be as long as what I just did with WWE. But I do want to read you AJ Styles' some of his incentives. AJ Styles signed with WWE last week, and the contract is said to be a multi-year deal. The deal also allows Styles to keep his name, but WWE is allowed to use all the trademarks surrounding AJ's character while he's under contract. That's a good deal. I'm behind that. WWE will also retain some rights to the name in regards to video game use once the deal is over. They could thank CM Punk for that one, but that's fair. That's fair. Styles will also retain the rights to his nickname, the Phenomenal One, and the name of his finisher, the Styles Clash. The site adds that WWE didn't have much of an issue with Styles keeping his name. So there you have it. Nothing's going to change with AJ Styles. And, if those are things that are worked into his deal, I think that that's incredibly fair. There's nothing wrong with any of that stuff. WWE making money off of his name while he's there, perfectly fine. They split the revenue or whatever the case may be. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how they could have gotten it right. WWE did a good job at building this guy, AJ Styles, as a big deal. NXT does the same thing. But you know who it worked for? Now, the names I read off, it makes you cringe when I read those names off, because it's like, damn, WWE fucked those guys over. But here's what NXT did. NXT did things like Asuka. Brought her in as a big deal, made her a big deal from the start. Apollo Crews, bought in as a big deal, made him a big deal from the start. Let's see, who else came in here? Hold on, who was that? Oh, fuck her. Finn Balor, bought him in as a big deal. He's Finn Balor. Hideo Itami, bought him in as a big deal. They made him a big deal. He's still struggling to connect with the audience, but NXT got behind him as a big deal, and they're keeping him that way, and they're going to keep pushing it that way. Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, big deal, keeping him that way. Letting you know these guys' accolades and keeping it that way. I'm sorry, but you can see why I would have faith in one and have no faith in the other. Sting, Xavier Woods, Rusev, Owens, Neville, Tyler Breeze. Look at how Sami Zayn got eliminated from the Rumble. Fuck. He came in, eliminated one guy, and then he got out of his damn self. Nothing there. Daniel Bryan, they still trying to hold a guy down. I mean, come on. All right, so to address the we want blackjack thing, keep supporting the guy. Absolutely. If he's doing a review or anything, definitely go out there and show him some support. If you guys are here watching me and he's going on at the same time, if you guys want to hear him, if you guys want to multitask, you want to put up 2 tabs and watch it both at the same time, that's fine too. Once me and Blackjack get back to, doing the reviews together, there it is. I mean, people are on Twitter thinking that there's some type of work going on and guys are setting up matches and whatnot. That's not the deal. I personally, well, you guys were there at Thursday's show. Something was said that I was completely against. I didn't like it. I left. Yeah. I don't like being undercut like that. No. You know, if we talk about it on the side and, you know, we agree about it, sure. But, you know, if you kind of just throw it out there by force, I feel as though you're cutting off me. You know, you're cutting off something that I'm building myself. And I would rather, like, if I want to end something that's mine, I'll end it. I don't want somebody to end something that's mine, and, you know, you don't end my shit. So, you know, that's why I left that stream. And he hasn't heard from me. I haven't heard from him either. So, yeah, that. So, you guys mind if I get back to reviewing the show? Yeah? Great. Cool. Man, I've been going on for a while now because I've started I started on time. So we're almost at an hour now. So going into hour 2, we have Becky versus Sasha, which ended in a no contest. Normally this would end in a DQ with Sasha winning because Sasha was the one that was attacked, but then Becky caught the brunt of it. Now, here's what I don't understand. The match, who cares? I don't get why Charlotte is going after Becky. The story with them should be done. Maybe she's doing it to keep her involved, which I'm fine with because it keeps her important. You want to keep her important. But at the same time, other than that, I don't see why you're attacking the girl. You beat her already. Maybe just so that Sasha can make another save, I guess. I'm still holding out hope that she's going to have a match with with Snoop Dogg in her corner, Sasha, that is. That's her uncle. At WrestleMania, and then you got Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner. That'd be pretty good to watch. Really nothing to say about this. I guess that's their way of furthering the feud. Backstage segment, you had Goldust approaching R-Truth, getting all up in his face. You know how Goldust does, and he tells him that he needs a partner, and R-Truth, like, I don't swing that way, man. Hey, that ain't me. That ain't what I do. And he's like, you needed a tag team partner. R-Truth continues to be oblivious, and it's fucking hilarious. Next, we finally figure out who the surprise was going to be. Oh boy, here we go. Take a sip. All right. So, everybody knew that it was going to be The Rock. And here's what's funny. The limo was out there for a long time. I don't know if people were really thinking that The Rock was in the limo, but the limo was out there for a long time. And Osiris tweeted this, and I had to laugh at him because I knew exactly what was going to happen. Osiris tweeted, I don't know why you guys are thinking that The Rock is coming. Usually when The Rock is coming, he drops a hint. WWE doesn't. In my response to him, and it's up there, and it was before The Rock came out, I said, well, someone said that they were going to be doing 2 returns. One is going to be a letdown, and the other is going to be The Rock coming in and cutting them off and interrupting them. And I hit enter. I hit tweet. And I swear, less than 2 minutes later, the door opens and it's The Miz. And I said, God damn, I'm Nostradamus. Because The Miz steps out and he says that he's back and ratings have been plummeting, and out comes The Rock. Drives up in that truck. And I'm like, oh boy. How did I get it right? Not how did I get it right about it being The Rock. We all knew it was going to be The Rock. But I got it right about how they were going to do it. Why is it Domstress? There it is. So The Rock was in rare form tonight. He's in rare form tonight. Miz approaches The Rock. He's like, what are you doing here? Getting in his face. And Rock's like, oh, hey, Miz, how you doing? Here, park my truck for me. Throws him the keys as if he's a valet, walks off, cheesing, smiling. Sees Rick Ross and Rick Ross's crew, you know, dapping them and whatnot. How the fuck did Rick Ross get backstage? And why did WWE not promote that? You got Rick Ross at your show and you don't have him perform? Are you on fucking drugs? And you're in Miami and you don't have Rick Ross perform. You just have him backstage. Wow. And so after he leaves Rick Frost, he sees Lana. And he kids with Lana. Well, he's dead serious, but they pass off as if him and Lana had some backstage things going on. Hey, I remember you, when I came, and you and Rusev, you guys approached me in the ring, and hey, you remember what happened after that? You met me backstage and you had a gift for me. And then after that, you found me in my hotel room and we worked on our little exercises. And I put you in the, he said you did the one-legged Russian vacuum to me. And I did the Samoan wheelbarrow or some shit like that. It was just getting out of control with this guy. And Lana's sitting there blushing, not declining anything. Like, yeah, you remember that. And then Rusev's right there behind him, just staring. Like, damn, ain't nothing I could do about this. Rock fucked my chick. Well, guess I got a bad bitch. Rock walks past. Hey, wish you guys the best of luck. You got a great woman here. Very flexible. And he looks very flexible. And he leaves. This guy's too much. So he goes out there, and as he's walking, you're just seeing the charisma just ooze off of this guy. And I'm looking at him like, I think a lot of people in WWE right now could be like this if WWE just allowed it. The Rock wasn't The Rock until they allowed it. You don't know what you have in guys until you just let them go. Same thing with Austin. Austin was the ringmaster before he was Austin. The Rock was Rocky Maivia before he was The Rock. You gotta let guys just be themselves, and something like this can happen. I'm not gonna sit there and say there's nobody on the roster that could do this. I'm not gonna say that there's nobody on the roster that could do this. I'm sure there's a couple of guys on the roster that could do something like this. And by something like this, I mean show off great charisma and become a star. But I believe that The Rock put such a damper in those hopes when he went to Hollywood. Vince don't want anybody going to Hollywood no more. He doesn't want that. He doesn't. The Rock, the reason why The Rock left to begin with is because he got lowballed on a deal once his deal with WWE was over. And he had Hollywood in his back pocket, and Vince lowballed him on a deal. And Rock said, fuck it, I'm going to Hollywood. That's not The Rock's fault in that sense. I mean, he was going to end up in Hollywood eventually, or either way. But that's on Vince because he didn't take care of his guy. So now you look at Cena. Cena wants to do movies. He was able to hold on to Cena for this long because he paid the fuck out of Cena. Absolutely paid the fuck out of Cena because he didn't want him going anywhere. He learned real quick from The Rock how you're supposed to do business. You got a star, you pay him like a star, and you treat him like a star. But see, here's the problem. No one else is treated like a star. Is Vince purposely holding them back so that they don't get to that level? WWE can create guys like this if they just give them freedom. The Rock had freedom, and this is what he became. So he does his countdown, his music drops, and he goes out there. He feels the crowd for a bit. Half the time as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking like, I wonder if The Rock knows his lines. That's what I'm thinking the whole time as Rock out there, because he does the most stalling ever. And I'm gonna get you guys comments in a second before I talk about New Day. So welcome to Raw. He even took a selfie as he was coming down to the ring. He took a selfie with these, these two little girls in the front row, in that corner section. That was pretty cool. Rock is just a cool guy. He does stuff that nobody on WWE roster is allowed to do. I can't imagine. I was about to say Kevin Owens. Let's not say Kevin Owens. I can't imagine. Let me think of a fan. It's kind of hard to think of a fan favorite when WWE doesn't want you to get behind anybody. Let's say Roman Reigns. Let's say Roman Reigns is coming down to the ring. He's coming through the audience. How about he just stops and takes a selfie with somebody? Nah, they ain't gonna let that happen. You ain't The Rock. You don't got that freedom, bro. It'd be good if they had it, if they gave it to him. He came out. He saw these cosplayers out there in the audience dressed as Hogan, Savage. Who else was it? Hogan, Savage, Rock, and Undertaker. He went out there. What's your name? Who are you? Blah, blah, blah. Gets back in the ring, and out comes Newt. As soon as I heard Big E, let me read you guys' comments here, see what you guys have to say about The Rock before I get started on New Day. Oh, yeah, I forgot that he saw Big Show, and he was that was pretty funny. Hey, Big Show, man, you remember that Rumble we had, man? We were the last ones in there. Man, those guys from the Scorpion King, man, they said whoever wins that Rumble, they was going to put them as the lead role for that movie. Whew, it's a good thing that I won that Rumble. And Big Show is just sitting there so pissed off. It's like, man, this could have been my break. And he breaks the computer. That was actually pretty good. Yep, got to take the chains off. Let's see. Rusev was like, somebody fucking my lady, somebody's fucking my girl. Craig Robinson voice. He probably did doggy style. That's from Holman. Jay Disney with a Z. But WWE stupid though. Yeah, kind of. Let me see. Cena could kind of mention that one. Harley. That's Harley Birch. Kevin Owens work and oh my God. Oh, let Kevin Owens work and oh my God, he'll be great. That's from Killer. Absolutely. Warriors game is out of control now. I'm trying to look at some of the highlights, but they keep like flashing away from it. Big Show's in Fast 5. All right, good for him. That's from Colby Lanier or Lanier. Chinky Eye Thuggin. I swear, I hope you're a female. Tonight, Rock was more entertaining than he's been in years for me. Usually, he's kind of corny. I agree. Rock was really, really good tonight, especially backstage, because of his pacing, the way he was delivering everything and bumping into everybody. It felt organic and it felt so Hollywood at the same time. It was really good. It was really good. Let me see. Osiris, if someone does that now, Cena will probably tell Vince to tell him to calm it down. Let's see. He shitted on Big Show. You all right? He was telling everybody, you all right, man. You all right. All right, so I see you guys are doing the Big Show, so we can talk about Big Show a bit here. Yeah, we can talk about. Yeah, he also said weed, and he said bitches, and he said penises and things like that. He said a whole bunch of stuff. All right, so let's talk about New Day. So New Day comes out. You hear Big E, and I'm like, oh my God, this is about to be the best thing ever. And I think standing toe-to-toe, Rock and New Day, line for line, I gotta say New Day won this promo segment. I'm sorry. I gotta say New Day won this promo segment. I have to. Take a sip. New Day was so good here. They talked about how first they talked about how, how's Rock the people's champion when he ain't got no gold. We over here, we got gold. Even they got bronze and orange or whatever that is, but they call it gold. Hey, that's cool. I got gold. You got gold. I got gold. He got gold. Hey, my trombone's gold. That was pretty good. Talked about how the Rock is always leaving. He leaves for the paycheck. He doesn't really care, and he just comes back whenever the fuck he feels like it. We're always here. And as I'm looking at this, I'm like, man, The Rock is 43, and these guys are in their 20s. This is seriously a new generation. Like a generate. There's two different generations here on our TV. You got what our generation is now, or what the generation. This ain't my generation, but what the generation is now, and then you have, what I grew up with right there in the ring. It's like, wow. Now I have an issue. I'm sorry. I have an issue. And this is an issue that you guys are going to agree with. People talk a lot about how great the Attitude Era was. Oh my God, the Attitude Era this, the Attitude Era that. And for the most part, I stay away from those talks. If I say something was good in the past, I may bring up the Attitude Era, but I also try to bring up the early 90s. I also try to bring up things that happened in the late 80s because that's when I grew up watching wrestling. I'm sorry, I'm showing my age. But those are things I remember. So I try to bring those up more than I bring up the Attitude Era. But here specifically, we have an Attitude Era guy. And all I could think when I'm seeing this is, man, you're looking in the ring at a man. And on the outside, all you see is some little boys that have been booked as clowns. This is one of the things that made the Attitude Era great. Is you had guys like this that mattered and that were a big deal. And there were a bunch of them. There was tons of them. Even the mid-card guys were big deals. The mid-card guys, for the most part, if you had a title on you, you had a gimmick going, you were serious. You were, and by serious, I don't mean you had a serious character. You were a serious threat at any time. New Day can be a serious threat. They never get the chance to. Big E can be a serious threat. We've seen him in NXT with the 5-count gimmick. Shout out to the 5-count gimmick. So we know, some of us know what Big E could do as far as star power if booked properly. You look at the rest of the roster and you start looking at the roster, you see guys, again, like you see a Neville, you see a Dean Ambrose, you see a Roman Reigns, you see a Seth Rollins, you see a Tyler Breeze, you see these guys that I named before, and you just think to yourself, where's your star power? Why don't I feel as though you can kick my ass? If I'm watching a wrestling event, I shouldn't feel as though I have a chance against anybody. But if you just look at these guys, you feel as though you have a chance with them. If you look at The Rock, you know he will fucking beat the hell out of you. You look at these guys and they're fucking goofing around. Not just talking about New Day, but just talking about the main roster in general. You can't take them seriously. In the Attitude Era where The Rock came from, you took those guys seriously. Sure, they were funny, but when it was time to go, they went. They were going to go. They were going to put in that work. You don't get that today. And that's the disconnect that we have now. That's the frustration that we have now with us, the viewer, and the WWE. This is the disconnect. This is the reason why we can't get behind it. This is the reason why we continue to say, oh, nothing's going on, no new stories, nobody that we can get behind. It's because none of these guys are serious. None of these guys are a threat. Everything's a fucking joke. I don't think any of these guys could kick my ass. I mean, but then you got Brock Lesnar. But Brock Lesnar wasn't brought up in this generation that we're watching today. He was brought up somewhere else. He was brought up just after The Rock, but he's the guy that took The Rock out. You have The Undertaker who still hangs around. You know The Undertaker gonna fuck you up at the age of 50. You don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. He'll fuck you up at the age of 50. But you believe it because he's a man. But when we're watching everybody else, it feels as though we're just watching some boys. That's the problem. That's the disconnect right now. That's the disconnect. And it was right there in front of our eyes. You had a man in the ring, and you had some boys on the outside. There were a bunch of one-liners that were going on here. Rock says, all right, all that stuff is pretty good. You guys are all right. But let me tell you something. Then he said that they had the Lima penises on their forehead and, dick jokes. And all right, they were good one-liners. They were good one-liners. And I'm not saying like that because I didn't like what The Rock said. I loved what The Rock said, but I kind of want to move on to what happened. I'm sorry, I don't want to go over all of the one-liners. I kind of want to go over what happened here. So The Rock's, he challenges them to come into the ring so he could kick all their asses, which is what should be happening. Why doesn't that happen with guys on the regular roster? No one's badass. Where's the badasses that say, get all of you, get in here? I don't care if it's 3 of you, all of you, get in here so I can kick all your asses. And they back down. You don't get that no more. You don't get it. Why? Why? They see stuff like this could work with The Rock. So why not just say, hey, we see it could work. How about we put other guys in those same situations and see if it could work with them? They don't do it. They just won't. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy to me because that's what people love. And that's why people tune in when they hear The Rock is coming. But let me say something like, oh man, Big E's coming to Raw tonight. You don't give a fuck. Who cares? He ain't gonna do nothing special. Who cares? Am I wrong on this? Am I wrong on this? All younger talent is boring besides New Day, Dead Ambrose, and Seth Rollins. That's from Fair KV. He called them unibitches. Yeah, he called them unibitches. Yo, Gilbert back in the 90s was more over than literally 90% of the roster today. Gilbert was the shit. I fucks with Gilbert. Gilbert was funny. Hope Brock Lesnar wins at Fastlane. We're getting there. They need to start using the deep ass talent they got. They got tons of talent. I would say they have way more talent now than they ever had. Way better talent now. Infinitely better talent. They're not trying to make stars. They're just not making stars. On Twitter, you asked if The Rock had any black cousins. I nominate Black John Cena, Darren Young. So you'll have Samoan John Cena, Black John Cena, and Rock's John Cena. But seriously, I'd say that because The Rock is, but he's half black. He never mentions any black cousins. He doesn't bring any black cousins to WWE. Only Samoans. No black cousins could come. Sorry. AJ Styles theme music is mad dope. I like it a lot. I was hoping that DMX was going to be rapping on it. The way it sounded when he was coming out, I thought it was going to be DMX. Why is it? Did you catch? I got stuff. Oh yeah, that New Day line. I'm sorry I missed it. So yeah, Rock said, I hope you guys have a plan B because, I'm going to bring out my cousins. And that's when the Usos came out. But before he said it, I hope you guys got a plan B. Xavier Woods said, plan B? I'm sorry, I got snipped. And I'm like, man, I wonder how many people caught that line. But in case you didn't, what Xavier, and that's just a great ass comeback right there. That's an excellent comeback. What Xavier Woods is saying there is that he got a vasectomy. Or plan B. Plan B is the morning after pill. You have sex with somebody, you didn't mean to splash in them a little bit, so just in case you don't want them to get pregnant, just in case you go on ahead and you give them the morning after pill so that they don't have the baby. Xavier Woods saying that he had a vasectomy or got snipped, which is what he said, means that, he could shoot up the club all he want. Ain't no babies coming out of it. That's what a vasectomy does. And yep. That was a hell of a line. I'm like, I wonder how many people caught that. That was so good. That was so good that he said that. Let's see. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. Good luck. That's all I can say is good luck. So out come the Usos. I hope that they're not keeping them in the title picture here. But out come the Usos, and they them and The Rock ends up cleaning the house. We get a rock bottom out of it. We get a spine buster out of it, and then we also get a people's elbow out of it. So we get all of the Rock signature stuff. We get the Usos with a double kick on Xavier. And then the way Xavier Woods, when they rolled him into the ring, the way he sold being scared of The Rock, he sold it without even looking at The Rock. He was looking at The Rock's feet and selling as if he was just dead. Like, oh my God, I'm about to die. I'm looking at The Rock's feet. So all in all, that was a really, really good segment and a hell of a rub. For New Day. Too bad they're going to be losing their titles to Enzo and Cass the night after WrestleMania. Did I say that? Did I say that out loud? That's what's going to happen. New Day losing their titles to Enzo and Cass the night after WrestleMania. So I think the rest of Raw we could gloss over. We are in the second hour here. Go on ahead. We got a bunch of people in here. Drop a like on the stream. Thank you guys all for coming through. And we're still going. We're still going. Thank you guys for the support. If you're leaving the support, if you're not, well, fuck you. Oh yeah, there was also the line that The Rock had. I didn't want to go over his lines, but he said that Big E looks like the offspring of the Incredible Hulk and Urkel. If he would have said the Incredible Hulk and Carlton, that would have been even better. That's from Osiris. He put that out on Twitter. That would have been a better one. Because he said, "Look at you, Big E. You're a big guy, but you're a fucking nerd." And I was like, buried. That's what I mean. That right there is what I mean. Oh, that's what I mean. So we got Natalya and Paige versus Brie Bella and Alicia Fox in a Total Divas match that Natalya and Paige won. Don't really care. We had Kalisto and The Miz, in which Kalisto won. Again, one of those matches you don't really care for. And then we get down to the home stretch. I'm actually stretching here. All right, so we get down to the home stretch, and we got Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns versus League of Nations Sheamus and Rusev. So apparently now is when we start to talk about, oh man, these guys have to impress the Authority so that they could get into a number one contender match at Fastlane. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait. We had the whole show where people were supposed to be impressing the Authority, but now is the only time that it matters? Did I miss part of the stipulation where they said the main event is the only thing that matters? Did I miss that part? I think I might have missed that part. I probably missed that part. Because I was under the impression that anybody throughout the card had a chance as long as you impress the Authority. But now apparently it only comes from this match. Okay, fair enough. The match was what it was. Again, when it comes to Raw matches, I'm glossing over them because you know the outcome, you know what it's going to be. You're not, if it's nothing barn burner or something that's going to stand out or something that's just fantastic, I don't give a damn. And I'm not going to sit here and give you a play-by-play on it. We're glossing over that shit because it really didn't matter. You know who's going to win this thing. I want to say Reigns and Dean, they won the match. I wasn't expecting them to put Dean in the match until it started going down the stretch. And I'm like, man, maybe they're going to put them in that match to try to build some tension here. So are they going to do like a one-on-one with these two for the time? I mean, if they do something like that, then we know who's going to WrestleMania. So they can't be that obvious, right? So after the match, Stephanie comes out, interrupts the Shield's music after they put, oh my God, they put poor Rusev through a table with a double power bomb. Can't say triple power bomb because there's no Seth. Just looking at those two. See, this right here is what I mean. This right here is what I mean. After they beat the League of Nations, they beat them down. And these two boys looked like men when it was all over. You guys fucked my guy over last night. I'm going to fuck you up. Put him through the table with, no pun intended, authority here. And they stood strong and they looked the part. They didn't look like they were laughing or no more joking. This shit is real. I like that. I like for ass kickers to be ass kickers. I like for badasses to be badasses. I don't need you joking around all the time. You can joke, sure. You don't joke when it's time to fight. And when they put Rusev through that table, they look like badasses. Shield music hits. I felt like, man, it's a little Shield feeling here. A little Shield feeling. Where's Seth at? Let me get Seth in here. Steph music hits, and she says, hey, can't say I'm not impressed. I'm impressed. So the number one contender match at Fastlane is going to be a triple threat match. And I'm like, with who? You gonna put AJ in there? Who the fuck they gonna put in there? Undertaker? What they? So it's going to be Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and Brock Lesnar. So they did this for several reasons. And before I get into the several reasons, I'm gonna take a look at the chat, see what you guys are over here talking about. See if you guys are talking about the match there at all. See if you guys have any opinions before I talk about this, and then we're gonna close out the show. No, you did not ever say in the main event tonight because they said Fastlane, you could be in it. No, you did not. You did not. I never heard them say the main event tonight. They said Fastlane. Anybody could be in it. Yeah. So all right. So I'm not bugging. All right. That was from Holman. Osiris says we got over 370 people in here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream, and if you are, show support by hitting the thumbs up button. It will be much appreciated. Thank you, Osiris. Because they're not allowed to put a 1-star match with Roman Reigns and lose. All right, talking about the game. Why would the Authority give Roman a title shot? Okay, simple enough. The thing, and they said this in the opening promo, they were only worried about taking the title off of him and shutting him up, because all he does is act like he's the man around there. Everything's a joke. He takes everything lightly, and he frankly doesn't deserve the title. And that's partly their fault, because they're not really putting him in situations in which he's really up against the wall. They're really not. Because if they want to, they could have Daniel Bryan'd him, and they didn't do that. And even in this sense, you know, they're giving him another title shot. But the thing is, they're giving him a title shot here because they've accomplished their goal, which is taking the title off of him. They didn't say anything about keeping it off of him. I don't even think they ever said anything about, we don't want you to be champion. What they said, or story is he attacked Triple H. And he was never punished for attacking the COO. So Vince wants to screw him over. He wanted to get the title off of him by screwing him over, which he did. The story hasn't necessarily been, we don't want Roman to be champion. The story that they were trying to build is, how do we get him and Triple H to WrestleMania? The story has always been about Triple H. That's what the story's been about. It's been about Triple H. With the underhanded, we don't want you, we want to get the title off of you because that's what you need to feed your family. By the way, speaking of which, how come Roman Reigns didn't come out tonight and say, damn, I lost the title. My family ain't eat tonight. Why he ain't do that? I mean, that's been his thing. If I'm not champion, I can't feed my family. What happened to that? I'm lost. Talk to me, Roman. What else do we have here? So they accomplished their goal of getting the title off of him. So now it's, okay, whoever impresses us gets a title shot. And shitty booking, apparently, Roman Reigns impressed them. I mean, if they would have said whoever wins tonight's main event gets the title shot, that would have been better. That would have made more sense. But that's the reason why I would give them a pass on letting Reigns get the title shot, is because they've accomplished their goal already, which was taking the title off of them. And that's Triple H's payback. Let's see. That was a pretty long-winded answer. Sorry. Bo Dallas has great mic skills, but loses every big feud he's in. I fucking hate him and his gimmick, just like you do. That's from Fear KV. Oh, that was Bo Dallas in quotes. I agree. That's it. I agree. That's all I got for you. Because at first I was about to say Bo Dallas. We really about to talk about, and then I saw the quotes. So, yeah. Eron King, bro, we need my guy Seth back. Yeah, man, can't wait for the guy to come back too, man. It's gonna be around SummerSlam, possibly. Might be around SummerSlam. What happened to Sheamus, Wade, and Rio? Wade Barrett is still injured. Sheamus lost tonight with Rusev and Del Rio. Was Del Rio in a match? I'm not even sure he was in a match. How come Kevin Owens sold his leg from last night, but Dean and Reigns acted like nothing happened from Tank Top Tiger? Dean did have the gimmick on his arm, his shoulder. He sold it when he was coming down to the ring, but then I don't think he ever sold it again. Rusev's career is ruined. I don't agree. He's the TV champion right now. He took the TV monitor last night, so therefore he is the TV champion. Didn't you see he's the self-proclaimed TV champion. If you look at his Twitter, he's the self-proclaimed TV champion. T Barnes, how could he beat Roman but not Daniel Bryan's little ass? Well, to be fair, he didn't beat Roman. He just threw him over the top rope. Fair enough. Fair enough. Triple H has no opponent at Fastlane. Brock versus Dean versus Roman, #1 contender match. That's from Kenny Williams. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. I want to make sure that I get all you guys' comments. Who was the person who came out of the limbo? From Paul Gasololi? He meant to say limo. The person that came out was The Miz, followed by The Rock. Nuke Deathbringer, because we dead ass know he lying about shit, trying to still keep skimming. All right, I don't know what we're talking about there. Roman will pin Dean at Fastlane, possibility there. Actually, I think I see that coming, and that's from Fair KV. What was the main event? It was Sheamus and Rusev versus Dean and Reigns. Why didn't Roman come back in and help Dean eliminate Triple H to help Dean become World Heavyweight Champion? Well, do you mean kayfabe-wise, or you mean in reality? Because in reality, it's because they want Triple H to main event WrestleMania and put Reigns over. In kayfabe land, can't fucking blame him. Dean never came out to fucking help him. So no, you're going to take that L too. It's the best answer I got for you. And I think it works. When y'all think Cesaro's coming back? Cesaro, his injury is a little shorter than everybody else's. He might be back in time for WrestleMania. It's a possibility. Because he was 4 to 6 months. And I think that he's already been out for about 3, almost 3. So he might be back around Mania time. He might be ready. Dean got major offense on trips at Rumble. All right, it's good for Dean. Live sex celebration at Fastlane. What does that name say? I can't even read that name. We're going to call you Rick. That's your name. Your name's Rick. Do you think Sami Zayn... Fuck, I hate the way that these comments are. Because I try to hold them up a little bit, and then they just... As soon as I scroll down to see a comment, they all just go away because so many comments here. Do you think Sami Zayn will be at WrestleMania? I can't call it right now. I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think they kind of fucked him over too with the Royal Rumble thing. Shouldn't have even brought him back because I don't think they're going to be ready for him at WrestleMania. They're going to do Dean and AJ Styles, I believe. Do you feel like Zayn was a waste at Rumble? Yep, absolutely. That's from Cameron Swindle. Kid Rocco, how do you How do you think they will split the title? I don't know what title you're talking about. And once again, all the comments go fucking up, and I can't read you guys. I can read the comments that are here, but it just keeps going right up. So I'm missing some of you guys' comments. Cesaro's good and Tyson Kidd, they're both cleared. I didn't know they were cleared. That's good. All right, so let's finish this up a little bit. We're going to talk about real quick. We're just going to gloss over what matches we know that we have at Fastlane. Let me see if there's a list for it at all. Because we do know the main event. We at least know that. Actually, I think that's the only match that we have set in stone so far. Which is good because you want to get that out of the way. You want to start, getting people behind that match now so that they know what they're going to be working toward. No surprises. Dean, Brock, and Reigns. The reason that Brock is in this triple threat is for several reasons. One is because you don't want it to be a dead giveaway on who's going to be going to WrestleMania to take on Triple H. Second, you want to, they've been talking about how they want this to be a mainstay pay-per-view and not just some transitional pay-per-view going into WrestleMania. They want this to be a big deal. And a good way to do that is to put Brock on it in the main event, vying for a chance to go to WrestleMania and be in the world title picture. Is it just me? I'm looking at this Progressive commercial. Is it just me, or has Flo put on a lot of weight lately? Like, Flo used to be a little skinny little thing. Yeah, her arms look like my legs. So back to this. The answer is simple on who's going to win. It's going to be Roman Reigns. The answer is obvious. It's because it's not Dean. That's first. And it's not going to be Brock because Bo Dallas and the Social Outcasts are going to interfere in the match and take him out. Which is gonna lead to their particular match at WrestleMania. So the only answer that you got here is going to be Roman Reigns. I mean, it's still, even though they don't want it to be obvious, it's still obvious. But I don't think that's a big deal. If they could deliver a good match, you fuck over Brock on the finish. Brock's pissed, so he takes out the Social Outcasts at Mania. Dean, I don't know what it does for Dean. Really doesn't do anything for Dean. I don't know what Dean's going to get out of this at all. I have no idea what Dean's going to get out of this. But so that's the setup that we have so far for this match. I think it's pretty obvious. We know who's going to win. We know why they're there and why they're having this match. So I'm going to read a few more comments and then I'm going to sign off. Went a good hour and a half here. It's crazy. Osiris, it got leaked, who was being inducted. I'm not going to read that because that's spoilers for anybody that doesn't want to know. I do like the female. Yeah, talking about the Hall of Fame there, so I'm going to leave that alone. Also, they haven't been announcing who else is going to be going into the Hall of Fame. I don't know why they didn't do it today. It's weird. Unless Brock and the Undertaker team up to take on Bo Dallas's crew. I might have missed what you said before that, Quest Kid. What? God damn it. Here go these comments flying up again. Can't read them. When do you see Dean losing the Intercontinental Championship? Honestly, I get a shit to AJ. I just don't see Dean as a champion. Tank Top Tigers. So wise. When does Triple H come out with the jean jacket and Scully? What if he comes to WrestleMania? He comes down wearing a suit. He comes down wearing a suit against Roman Reigns. Oh no, the jean jacket vest. That would be a good look. Why is those New Day shirts flames? Right. The question is, are you gonna get one? You gonna get one? You gonna get one? Is Wise a heel? I don't think I'm heel. Gave you guys a little rant today. It's been a long time since I gave you guys a little rant. I think I needed that. Nice little rant. All right. Let me take to Twitter because I see I had some tweets over there. Maybe it's just likes on the it's likes on the stream. Really appreciate that. That's going to be a weird WrestleMania build. They have to do a lot to make me interested. What is this that we're talking about here? Oh, okay. Yeah. So all of those tweets there are likes on the videos, which is why likes on the videos is very, very helpful because I can actually see those and I could retweet them. As a fact, I'm about to blow up all you guys' timelines with the retweets. How you really feel? How you really feel? How do you really feel? I'm gonna keep retweeting everybody like the damn video because I like y'all's. I like y'all's. I like y'all's. I'm gonna keep retweeting. I'm gonna keep retweeting these suckers. Go make history. I did it. And I took. Oh yeah, no, I wasn't kidding. No, Rusev is the new TV champion. I'll retweet Rusev. He said it himself. He's the TV champion. There, take that. All right, guys. It was fun having you guys here tonight in the stream. I hope it wasn't too bad that I went off on a tangent about AJ Styles' match. But I'm glad that you guys understood where I was coming from on that. Hope to see you guys again. Maybe Thursday. If not, be again on Monday. See you guys later. Have a good night.